All right, Pops, car dealers, they are quivering in their boots, and so are hotels and a lot of other businesses that use hidden fees. We've got a new proposed law in the state of California, and this comes on the heels of FTC regulations last year trying to get hidden fees taken out of our economic environment. But Dad, this proposed law in California, this is a big one. Removing hidden fees entirely in the state of California.
Yes, it's a big one because, well, California is the biggest state in the country as far as population is concerned. But yeah, first off, I don't know what the hell took so long. Okay, because this stuff's been going on forever. The concept of hidden fees, whether it be hidden resort fees or hidden ticket fees when you buy tickets from Ticketmaster or whoever. And so the concept of being able to advertise something at an artificially low price that doesn't include the mandatory fees that you're going to be charged for is, well, something that should have been addressed, I don't know, a century ago, a million years ago. I mean, I don't understand why it's taken so long for a state the size of California or for the Federal Trade Commission federally to say, you can't do this. You need to advertise what the real price of a vehicle is so people understand.
And it's not even vehicles, like you said, the real price. Just share the real price. YouTube channels like ours shouldn't even have to exist. But fortunately for us, we get to hang out and make these videos. And you know what? Car dealers keep adding all sorts of bogus fees, and we help people negotiate them off. Dad, from the press release from the state of California, the use of hidden fees and junk fees is a deceptive advertising practice in which the seller uses an artificially low headline price to attract a customer before revealing additional charges later in the buying process. Sellers often hide these additional mandatory charges by using small type, vague descriptions, or misleading wording, such as, quote, service fees, by bundling them with legitimate charges like taxes or revealing them clearly only after the consumer has invested time in the transaction. This legislation, the first bill of its type across the state, would prohibit advertising a price for a good or service that does not include all required charges other than taxes and fees imposed by a government. And we have an article, a great article back on CarEdge.com, fees you should and shouldn't pay when buying a car. And we've documented the FTC's trials and tribulations to pass rules that would prohibit the use of mandatory fees, junk fees, BS fees. The unfortunate reality here, Dad, is there is no federal agency that can just snap their fingers and say, okay, there are no more crazy doc fees in the state of Florida or this processing fee in the state of North Carolina or whatever the fee may be. The FTC's process is going to take them years to actually come to fruition. In the state of California, that's only one state out of, 49 others, 50 total. Like, we've got work to do here if we're actually going to make this a fair process. Pops, did you hear the good news?
I did. Abe Lincoln said we should save people 30% if they sign up for CarEdge Coach. That's 30% off through the end of February.
Use the code CarEdge Coach at caredge.com/plans.
Here's the real concern, the real issue. Let's say, just for the sake of argument, that the state legislature and the state Senate in California passes this bill, okay? Well, it means nothing if there's no enforcement of it, okay? There are rules and regulations probably already on the books, okay, in regards to advertising and truth in advertising.
Yep.
That dealerships, hotels, whoever are probably in violation of today, even in the state of California, and nothing is done about it because there is no enforcement. So it's great. It's great PR to say, gee, we want to protect the consumers of California, but if there's no real enforcement of it, or if the enforcement mechanism might take years and years to put in place, what's the point? There's that old saying that, well, why don't you just enforce the laws that are on the books?
Yeah, all right, you know me. I'm young enough, naive enough, green enough to think that we can make a difference in this space. Maybe that's part of our responsibility, Dad. What if there was a community or crowdsourced way to identify the bad actors? Like, what if and there have been, I think, some people who have done this in the past. Like, what if we created a way for people to tell us, hey, this dealership, they're charging the bogus fees, or this dealership, they're breaking the California dock fee. They can't be above $85. We should be able to create that infrastructure. Maybe, I don't know. Again, maybe I'm naive. I think we should be able to do it. That could be CarEdge's impact on humanity, is to actually help with the enforcement of these rules. Because, to be clear, I'm not for adding more and more rules. I'm right there with you. There probably already are rules in place that, if they were just enforced, would do this. This is more of a PR stunt, but maybe we can help with that. Maybe that's part of our responsibility.
Well, let me say this, and I think that's very altruistic to say that, and to say, gee, we should make it part of our responsibility and what we do. But the truth of the matter is, every one of those state slaters, okay, has tried to buy a car or has rented a hotel room somewhere, okay, and the advertised price of the hotel room might be $299, and then in the small print somewhere, plus a $49 a night resort fee. Guess what? It's not really $299 now, is it? So they confront these issues every day, okay? So they don't need us to point it out. They need themselves to say, when they see it happen, try and do something about it. Report it to the appropriate authority so an action can be started. Every one of those state legislators, including the Attorney General in the state of California, has probably purchased a car at some point in their life, or has shopped online for a car at some point in their life and seen a price that attracted their attention, only to find out afterwards that's not the price they can really buy it for. They don't need us. They just need to get off their collective asses and do something about it when they see it. Sorry.